How many stones can you expect between now and the New Year's celebration? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at all of the upcoming campaigns on Global Dokkan and trying to figure out just how many stones we can expect between now and the end of the year. We're going to do this in preparation for a stone budgeting guide to see where you should be spending the bulk of your stones during this time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the campaigns to come. So first off, we have the part 1 and the part 2 of the current tier list campaign. Now, the Dokkan Wiki doesn't have the global campaign info up yet, but we can safely assume not much is going to change between how it was between JP's part 1 and part 2 and our part 1 and part 2 for the month of October, because after all, looking here, pretty much everything that was here is in the current global news. So we can safely assume we're going to be getting everything, and then in part 2, we'll be getting everything there. So we already know, based on our previous video, which I will link down below if you want to see the exact breakdown, but we already know we're dealing with about 330 stones for the month of October. So that's actually quite a hefty amount for all of you who may have spent the bulk of your stones during the worldwide celebration. If not, that's just a little bit more to add into your current reservoir as we save for the big ticket items to come. So the very next campaign we should encounter is the fantastically spooky Dokkan campaign. This will take part during the part 2 campaign of the Careless celebration for the month of October, and it'll mostly encompass everything we went over in the part 2. However, it might have some new additions, right? It'll have its own login bonus, which we did count for the part 2. It'll have its own special missions. It'll have its own banner, and we'll likely get all of the part 2 stuff that happened here on JP's part 2 for the Turles celebration. So we'll get new GT Goku events, we'll get a new Super Strike, all that good stuff will happen then, probably even a world tournament as well, and this new event here versus the Cybermen. So all of that will happen, but in addition to all of that, we will be getting an Extreme Z area, which will probably awaken this unit here. So from our 330, from our original, we can safely assume that's going to bring us, what, 3 more stones for the Extreme Z area, bringing our total to 333, and we'll get a new special event. Looking at the special event here for the Deburro from last year, whatever this year unit's gonna be, it's probably gonna have the same sort of setup. They've almost all had the same setup, so 2 stages, 1 to grind the unit, 1 to awaken them, right? So you'll get 2 stones for that, and then missions, you'll get more than likely, it's hard to say, it's always different, but we'll just err on the side of same as last year. So 2 more stones for completing the stage and then doing whatever special mission. So 4 stones in total, bringing our total to 337 for the extra missions coming from here. Probably not going to get much from here else unless you didn't do any of these other missions here, but just note that there is a couple extra stones to be had from this campaign here to add on to whatever we get from the part 2 of the Turles campaign here, which will introduce the Int Tree of Might Goku, which, by the way, is also getting a new pity system if you decide to summon for him. But from there, we have a possibility of 2 different directions to take. We can either take the direction of going through the Super Trunks campaign, this one here, or the Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. For ease of understanding what's to come, we're just going to assume Super Trunks is next for the month of November and base our calculations off of that. So during this time, unfortunately, because it is the thank you celebration, I don't think we are, well, even if it is the thank you celebration or it ends up being the December LR banner, or not LR, but the December Dokkan Fest banner. I don't think we're going to get the Peppy Gal stuff, so we're not going to count this in our calculation, just so you guys are aware. I do think that this stuff will end up happening in January, given Global's current schedule, since they didn't introduce this in October like they normally would. Moving on, though, there will be a login bonus for 18 days during this period, which makes sense. For those that don't know, November also coincides with Thank You Celebration and the Super Dragon Ball Heroes campaign, so roughly to around the 18th to the 24th. We'll just err on the side of the 18th for this one, because that's how many were in the on JP. So login stones, we're expecting another 18 for login stones ish. So that'll bring our total to 355, including our daily missions, right? So we add another 18 there for the daily missions. We're looking at 373 for this campaign, adding 4 more because that is 2 weeks for extra weekend daily mission stones, bringing our total up to 377. For the missions coming up during this campaign, usually about 15 stones is the average from missions, so we're just going to assume that's the case. We have a new Dokkan Festival, which means a new Dokkan event, which will grant us 2 stones, bringing our total to 394. There's a new Dragon Ball story in this. It is basically just revamping the GT Saga Baby Saga event, which will give us, 16 more stones plus mission stones, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stones, bringing our total to 415 stones between now and the end of the year. Add on to that another Ultimate Clash for 25 stones and a Extreme Z battle for the Super Saiyan Vegeta. This is the transforming Vegeta. He will happen during this celebration with 33 stones. 473 is our total as of now. We will have a new limited attempts event during this period, which will give us 2 stones. We will also have a new Super Strike revamp for the Tech Piccolo, bringing us 20 stones. So 495 in total. We will also get another 6 stones from the support memory boost stage, another 6 from Super Battle Road, and 21 from the Super Weekends that will happen during this period, plus another 50 from World Tournament. So Truck Celebration will bring us quite a bit of stones. We'll do the full breakdown telling us exactly how many, but in the context of how many stones we can expect between now and then, including the Turles campaign and this campaign, we're talking 578 stones. This assumes you spend no stones between now and then. Up next from there, we will have the Super Dragon Ball Heroes campaign. This will take over the latter half of the month of November, as it always does. So from the 18th to the 30th, that'll give us another 12 stones there, bringing our total to 590, including daily missions, right? Another set of stones there, plus our extra weekend missions. 606 stones is what we're expecting for logging in and playing the game for the month of November. There is a possibility that the month of November could bring up 2 stones per day, but we're not going to count that because at this current moment we are unsure of that, because Dragon Ball Heroes always brings a new Dokkan event for their characters. We can assume we're getting 2 more stones for that. We will have a new special event. This event will give us a couple of stones, probably just the same as last year. They always try to introduce a new event, and everyone so far, aside from the original, has only brought 2 new stages. So we'll just safely assume that, 2 stages, 4 stones here, plus our mission stones. So 6 stones, bringing our total to 614. We will have an Extreme Z battle that will probably awaken a bunch of characters, bringing us to 647 for our total, another 6 for however many Extreme Z area characters we get, and then we hopefully, I'm going to assume we are going to get a new Super Dragon Ball Heroes Red Zone, which actually gave us a whole lot of stones here, much more than I actually remembered getting, right? So you will get 1 for each clear, so that'll give us 3 stones there. We'll get 21 for actually clearing each stage, so 677 in total, and then another 21 for doing specific missions here, so bringing us to 698 by the time we finish off everything in the Dragon Ball Heroes campaign. So this is more than likely what's going to occur for the month of November. Now, they could switch things around for us, and if they do, we will end up with, where is it here? This campaign, either November or December. One of these 2 campaigns is going to be November or December, right? It just depends on who they decide to go with. Personally, I do think this campaign will wind up being November because, I mean, it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He's pretty hyped for Thank You Celebration, if you ask me. But he does have a Part 2 LR, which would make sense to have him line up with that for December. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but either way, the total amount that we are getting for Part 1 and Part 2, we will get a new stage for the Birth of the Shadow Dragons event, which will bring us the Omega Shenron. So you'll get 1 stage for clearing that. And then on top of that, they do add new missions. 5 stones for clearing the stage, another 5 for clearing with full power, another 5 for clearing with final trump card, bringing our total to 714 for this campaign. We'll get a new Extreme Z battle to awaken these 3 characters here, the GT Goku, the Angel Frieza, and the Angel Cell, bringing our total to 747, along with the LR Baby to 780 is our total during this period. Obviously, we will have login bonuses for this time, and we can safely assume that it's, you know, your standard login bonuses. So for the entirety of the month, we'll say 30 days, that's 30 stones that we're getting, bringing our total to 810. Following that, obviously there will be daily missions for 1 stone for 30 days, 840, plus an extra 8 for the weekend, so 848 we're talking about. Because the Goku is a Dokkan Festival LR, he has a Dokkan event for an extra 2 stones, which, by the way, during this campaign, Christmas time, we should be seeing this banner arrive, which will return the 8th anniversary LRs. But by this point, you should have 850 stones saved up from the Turles celebration here. We'll get a new support memory stage for another 6 stones, right? 5 stones for the mission, 1 for clearing the stage. A new boss rush, which will net us 35 stones, bringing our total to 890. A new Dokkan Clash for 25 stones, and then this stage here, which I believe is another 25 stones. I can't actually click and confirm, but if I remember correctly from when I did it on JP, it was about 5 stones per stage, and then a little extra for clearing all of them, right? So I believe it was 25 in total, bringing our total to 941. In the part 1 of this campaign, I know it's a little disjointed, we'll be getting the Fizz Beerus EZA, so that'll bring us another 33 stones, and a new Infinite Dragon Ball History, bringing our total to 998 stones. Added 6 stones for Super Battle Road. That brings us to 1,004, and then another 25 for Chain Battle, bringing us to 1,028. This isn't including anything extra, right? We will get this one is unsure, right? The Super Weekend, they don't do it that often, so I mean, they might end up doing it in the Trunks campaign or this campaign, but I doubt for global they'll do them on both. But since it's here, we'll count it. So where are we? 1008 plus 33 plus 21, 1062 plus an extreme super battle road, 1068, another 3 for the GT Extreme Z area, and another 11 for Peton battle. So by the time we hit December with this campaign here, or the Super Trunks, however it ends up landing, by the time we hit here and finish all of this, we should have about 1082 stones if you have been saving from the start of the Turles campaign up until that point. This doesn't include any first ranks we get, which sometimes we get for heroes, sometimes we get for Tanabata campaign, sometimes we get for thank you campaign, which could increase the total amount, but you can expect over 1,000 stones in this time period. Now, why is this important? Well, number one, we will be doing a video later this week discussing where I think you should allocate the bulk of these stones along with what you have saved up. But it's also important to note because the New Year's step up is at the end of the year, and realistically between now and the JP anniversary, if you're on JP, or whatever Saiyan Day might bring on global, you should be trying to save the bulk of your stones to at least spend 200 here to get a decent set of characters. Now, last year, this banner provided an excellent chance to pick up an easy A category lead, as well as 2 free LRs. Well, not free, you're spending 200 stone, as well as catch up on some Dokkan Fests you may have missed for 2021 and 2022. This year stands to be even greater since the pool of characters has gotten better, right? Expect to see up to Kale on this banner, as well as LRs up to the probably Tree of Might Goku or Bulma, looking at this list here. Hard to say exactly because the part 2 of the 8th anniversary were Carnival LRs instead. So hard to say exactly who it'll be. My guess is Super Buu or Bulma up to on this. But either way, good chance to pick it up. And I think it could be even better to include even more recent LRs and possibly even catch us up to JP's Dokkan Fests as we proceed towards a synced game for Global and JP Dokkan. So anyways, guys, that is the video. That is how many stones you can expect between now and the end of the year. Expect over 1,000 stones added to what you already have saved up. We will be doing a video here soon discussing where you should spend these stones and whether or not you should continue saving for our synced campaign whenever that decides to happen. So anyways, guys, that is the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, how many stones do you have currently, and how many will you have if you can hold strong and save to the end of the year? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.